The opinions and views expressed in Political Talk belong to its commentators and are not those of Nexstar Media Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees.
Welcome to Political Talk with Democratic commentator Dora Leland and Republican commentator Tom Santulli.
We say that it's the right decision to lift this mandate.
New York lifts its indoor mask mandate for businesses, but allows counties and cities to maintain their own mandates. But even as indoor mandates for businesses end, they will remain for our schools, with the governor saying the state would reassess conditions in the first week of March.
I believe her decision made sense. It makes sense to me as an educator. You know, the school mask mandates are still in place because believe it or not, right now, the vaccine rates for 5 to 11-year-olds are just over 38%. And in some counties across the state, they're below 20%. So this is a segment of the population that really isn't protected. And I think our number one priority above all else has to be the health and welfare, especially of our children. I think this is so much more of a sound plan than, say, what Governor Murphy did in New Jersey, just giving an arbitrary, we're going to relax mask mandates on this particular day, not really knowing what the metrics are going to look like on that day. I think her plan really allows for thoughtfulness and prudence of saying, you know, let's see where our numbers are. If they're okay, then let's list the mask mandates in school. Let's not make a decision based on what people want or what businesses want, or make a decision out of political expediency, but let's make a decision based on where our numbers are at, where our vaccine rates are at, where our capability and capacity to have testing is at. So I know she'll take some blowback for it, but I think it just makes sense.
Think about this. There's 26 governors that are going to be running this November. So believe me, what they do is they take polls, and they poll before they run, and they know one thing, that the majority of Americans have had COVID for the last 2 years about as much as they can stand it. Now, we can debate whether that's good, whether it's bad, whether we should mask, whether we should unmask, but the majority of Americans are saying enough is enough. In the poll that came out yesterday, COVID was a big issue with 8% of people. 67% of people wanted to talk about crime. That's their issue. So what bugs me about this entire whole operation of a way that 7 states, all that have 7 Democrat governors, they say it's time to unmask, when the Republican governors were saying that they wanted to execute them, especially the president. Hey, the president's been silent on this. Tom Santulli, at 73, who would be in the vulnerable population, even though he's vaccinated, I can take my mask off and throw it away and go to restaurants and go to a Bills game and scream my lungs out and do everything I want to do. But kids who have a very far less chance than me in getting COVID, they have to continue to sit in these classrooms and wear these masks.
That will do it for this edition of Political Talk. For the very latest edition of Political Talk and past episodes, simply log on to our website, mytwintears.com. I'm Zach Wheeler, and 18 News will return after this.